All right, YouTube. This is my first time going live. So bear with me if there's some technical difficulties, but I am um I'm going live to give you guys my reaction to the Trump and Venezuela, the whole ordeal. I woke up this morning and you know, one of my very bad habits is checking my phone first thing in the morning when I should be thanking God I woke up. I end up thanking God anyways, but I checked my phone and I saw that Trump ordered a strike on Venezuela, and the president of Venezuela, Maduro, and his wife have been captured and brought to the United States. So I definitely wanted to give my honest reaction to this, and I also have the live from the White House where Trump is supposed to address the nation. So we're just waiting on that. In the meantime, though, my honest first reaction was, bro, fuck around and find out, bruh. Straight up, just like that. That was my first honest reaction. And then when I started to wake up and I started to actually um like get out of that groggy foggy mindset that you're normally in when you first wake up, I realized it's still fuck around and find out. So, yeah, I am 100% in agreement to this, and I think it was necessary. I do think Venezuela has lost its ways, especially being the being led by Maduro and everything for the since like I believe it was 2012. All these all these decisions and inflation and lack of food and medicine and bringing drugs into the United States is honestly, you can be a bad leader, you could be a bad president when it comes to your own country, but if you're going to try and have your people bring in drugs on boats to the United States, just causing a much more harm here, then that's when you kind of cross the line. And as a leader, you should know that maybe it was, unfortunately, because it was Joe Biden that was the president of the United States before Trump won the election. For the last 4 years, I guess it's possible that we were seen as a very weak nation and we were seen um, as pathetic. But again, now Trump's in office. Now we have Daddy Trump back, and he's making decisions. He's doing things. He is looking out for the best interest of the United States. I know there's a lot of Trump haters. I know there's a lot of people who hate the Republican Party. But at the end of the day, you get to vote for every 4 years. You get to vote for the president who's going to be the new president. So you did not win this time, and that just is what it is. We live in a democracy, and we were able to have a voice to some extent and vote. So Trump won, and he's now our president, whether you like it or not. Now, for my Hispanic people, I will say I try so hard to defend you guys because I'm Hispanic too. Like, we're brown. I love my people. I just visited Colombia like 2 weeks ago, and it was beautiful country. Um, you know, the people are amazing. The Everything is great. But um what I'm trying to get at is you guys make it so fucking hard. Not all of you guys, because I have a lot of friends that are Latino, Hispanic, whatever, and they have their heads screwed on right. But I will say that there is a lot of you guys, man, that make this so hard. You give us a bad rep, and it gets annoying because I have to defend, the actions that you guys do. Like, you guys protest against Trump. You guys hate that he's sending illegal immigrants back to their country. You think he's a racist, you think he's and then you believe all the propaganda that he's a rapist, and that he's a convicted felon and all this other shit. Like, bro, at what point do you at what point as a person do you, and this is not just to the Hispanics, but just people in general, at what point do you not just sit down for a second and just do some research and just look things up, dig in a little bit, and just put the pieces of the puzzle together and see if it makes any sense? Because, for one, I think that especially like the Hispanic people, I think that there's just a unfortunately there's emotional a trigger when it comes to sending the illegal immigrants back, because you know it so the narrative, for the most part, the narrative is you're going to send people who want to come here for a better life back. That's what they want you to believe is happening, is people who are just coming here for a better life is being sent back. Like, how can you do that? But at the end of the day, even the ones that really do genuinely come here for a better life, when you cross the border illegally, you are already breaking the law. And I guess this topic hits home for me because my family came here legally. They put in the paperwork. They waited, honestly, like, they waited so many years, and they finally got accepted, approved. They got brought over here, and they had to, abide by their rules and all that, and they did all that, and now they're citizens. My half brother, he just got a call back from immigration to process his paperwork into trying to see if he can get residency here, and he's waited 20 years for that call. 20 years. So, I don't know. It just annoys me sometimes because, like, I know there are families out there that are doing it right, and they're getting pushed in with the people who just cross the border, and it just puts a bad rep for us, man. That's what I'm trying to get at. Um, and then, apart from all that, kind of pivoting back to this Venezuela issue, you have this president who's a dictator, and he does not care about his people. And then on top of that, you trying us, bruh. Like, why is you trying us? You can't expect to send drugs over here, um and then we blow your shit up, as we should. Like, you're a foreigner, and you're this is no longer like a domestic issue. This is terrorism. And you want to bring drugs to our country. You want to make our you want to kill people from the United States, because that's all that drugs do, is kill you. So, no, this is where we draw the line. But um I did want to also show you guys that Trump, hold on, let me you're gonna see me for 1 second. Let's see what Trump had to say about this. Mhm. Mhm. Hold on, you guys. There it is. All right. So, the United States of America has successfully carried out a large scale strike against Venezuela and its leader, President Nicolas Maduro, who has been, along with his wife, captured and flown out of the country. This operation was done in conjunction with the U.S. law enforcement. Details to follow. There will be new conference today. There will be a news conference today at 11 at Mar-a-Lago. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. Yeah, and I'm currently still waiting for the. I'm waiting for this to begin. It never really begins at the time they say it does. It's usually like sometimes it's almost like an hour later that it actually begins. But there are 86,277 people waiting to watch this. So you know this shit's about to get real. I do want to hear what he has to say to address the nation. I do believe that he did do the right thing. And as a warning to other countries that want to try us like we're stupid, you will fuck around and find out as well. And as long as Trump is in office and hopefully his successor, JD Vance, takes over the next 4 years, well, the next 8 years, and then we'll go from there. Um, the United States, I really want the United States to stop being seen as such a pathetic and weak country because we're not. We're strong. We have the best military in the world. Um, bro, no one can fuck with us, not even China. Like I know people like to say, "Oh, China's this, China's that," like they, whatever. But you know, China can't touch us, bro. And um, I am patriotic. I love this country. I appreciate everything this country has done for me, the opportunities it's given me. I wouldn't be where I am today without the well, first of all, without God, without my parents, and then definitely without this country being the way that it is, and everything that you can accomplish in this country if you just lock the fuck in and work hard. Yeah, there's no way. People who aren't shit here is because they do that by choice, and you really can't tell me any different. People like to say, "Oh, you don't know what it feels like to because we grew up without money, bro." I grew up without money. Like, what are we talking about here? Like people swear they're the only like if you're doing if you're a grown ass man and you're not doing so well, people love to say, "Oh, I grew up without this. I didn't have a dad. Oh, I had to I was fostered. I was in a foster care system." Like all these adversities that they had to deal with. But bro, you don't know everyone's story and you don't know what everyone's been through on an individual level. I'm not here trying to win worst best worst come up ever, but bro, you don't know what I've went through. You don't know the shit that I didn't have, the things that were missing, the struggles that I've gone through. Like everyone's been through shit. And all jokes aside, some people do go through more things and some people do go through less things, but at the end of the day, it really is just locking the fuck in and figuring out what's best. And sometimes you have to do certain things that you don't want to do just for the meantime, and then later in life you get to do the things that you want. That doesn't mean that you're any less privileged than the person next to you. That just means, bro, this is the deck of cards that you were handed, and you make that shit fucking work. So that's just my opinion on that. I think a lot of people make excuses um in that, but yeah. I also wanted to show you guys. Let me put myself on the big screen again. Again, this is my first time doing a live stream, so it feels a little weird, but I have to do it. It just has to happen. Uh let's look at the aftermath. Yeah, let's do that. Let's look at this while we wait. This is wild.
Este sitio. Entonces, quizás este tema de las bombas matachavistas no existen. O sea, esto es un ataque contra todos los venezolanos y lo que se llama en este momento es a la unidad nacional y a rechazar este tipo de acciones oprobiosas por parte de factores que quieren lograr por la violencia lo que no han logrado por el voto y el ejercicio de la democracia. Como siempre ocurre en este caso, hay cuerpos de seguridad que están presentes. Un poco más atrás tenemos funcionarios militares que nos están haciendo señas. Obviamente ellos están custodiando el perímetro, están haciendo su trabajo si se quiere. Pero bueno, lo que podemos reportar es esto. Estamos ofreciendo en vivo.
I'm sorry, guys. I know some of you guys don't speak Spanish, so let me try to find an English version. But he's just basically saying what any other news anchor would say, and like, yeah, this is the aftermath. Look at the damage. This is the like this is the totality of what's going on. Blah blah blah. But let me find some.
Want to get to our team coverage, turning to the wild scene we've been witnessing all morning outside of El Arepaso in Doral.
Yeah, so many people showing support for Venezuela. This after the capture of Nicolas Maduro. We do have Lois and Jolena Sparto live with more. Hey, Jolena.
Hi, I think you guys can hear me now, and let me tell you something. There is a massive dance party going on behind me. I just want you to take a look at it. I almost got caught in the middle of it, but I wanted to show you guys instead, so I stepped outside. But look at this pool of Venezuelan flags. I mean, just look at everybody erupting and singing and dancing. There is so much emotion in this, mostly happy, but of course, it's a mix of emotions. It's been scary. It's been scary, and a lot of these people, they're Venezuelan, they're Venezuelan Americans. They have family back in Venezuela, and a lot of them have not slept because they have had to make sure their family was all right once they heard the news. And I wanted to introduce you to someone, 16-year-old Emily Tovar. Emily, tell me a little bit about what it's been like. You have not slept, have you?
Yes, bro. Oh my God. Like you don't understand like the feeling that I have right now, because I haven't been there in so long. I really miss being there. I miss my family. I want to see them. But what is happening right now, like I'm so happy that it's happening, because they really needed to take down the president. They need to take out Padrino. That's Vladimir, and also Diosdado. They need to take him down. Those two are the ones who we need to take them down right now.
How long have you been here this week?
Right now. Right now. We need to take them down right now. So, bro, this is another thing about this that I think is crazy. There are a lot of people on Instagram that I follow and on Facebook that are talking shit about what Trump just did, and they're saying, "Oh, when this breaks out into a war, you guys are going to regret hiring the orange man or whatever." Bro, shut up. Okay? Like just shut up. Just shut the hell up, because you don't know what you're talking about. You know, you just formulate an opinion about something with like literally no logic or reasoning behind it. You're just like, oh, that's bad. You know, that's gonna lead to war. It's because Trump's fault. It's Trump. I bet you if Biden did this shit, you would not be saying the same thing. And on top of all that, you have Venezuelans that are literally celebrating that this happened, bro. Like this, if you're not from Venezuela, if you don't have Venezuela in your blood, you need to please shut up. Okay? Because if they're not even mad, if they are not mad, if on the contrary, they are happy this happened. They are glad, they are relieved that this dictator is out. If they're not even mad and you're mad and you have nothing to do with their country and you have no blood in your bloodlines with Venezuelan bloodline, please shut up. Like for real. You guys are tripping. You guys just want to find a reason to hate Trump. I bet you in a hypothetical world, if Trump ended world hunger, they would still be mad. And they would be like, oh yeah, well, we need to fix homelessness now. Like, why didn't he focus on that? Like dude, he can't win. He cannot win. To nobody. Well, to the ones that hate him, he can't win. To the ones that appreciate him and obviously support him, they see the wins here. And to the ones that are on the neutral side, but they have a brain and they can rationally think of what's going on and why this makes sense and why this is good, they can show appreciation. They might not say it, they don't have to say it, but as long as like they know in their brains, like, okay, this was a good move, this was smart, then they're not far gone either. But the ones that really just hate him for no reason, bro, like, you guys tripping. But
8 years. I've been living here 8 years.
And how long have you been here this morning?
This morning,
Celebrating.
oh my god, probably like 7 a.m., 6 a.m. in the morning until I don't know.
And has it been worth the night of no sleep after hearing all the news and being able to celebrate what you're able to?
Yes, I was going to sleep and then I saw the news and I woke up my parents. Like, oh, I was so scared because of my family that they're living there. And my parents were like super scared. They were calling my family and all that stuff. But thank God they're good. They're in a safe place right now. And hopefully everything goes well in the future.
Yeah, thank God. And if I wasn't bothering you talking to you right now, would you be in that dance party?
Probably.
I'm going to let you get back to that dance party, all right? Because I just don't want to keep you too long. You've been waiting to tell us how everything has been. Thank you so much. And I just want to show you guys again what's going on because so much.
bro, them boys are lit. Like, you gotta stop playing. They are lit. They're not mad. They are partying. They are celebrating. Like, I'm about to get up and start dancing. That's how lit they are. And I'm not Venezuelan at all. I'm Peruvian and Honduran. Like, I got nothing to do with this. I just know right and wrong. I just know, like, people who have been living very poorly in that country need, I feel bad for them. And it's all because of this dumbass. Like, nah, bro, like, you need to get your ass out of there. And I have my mixed opinions sometimes about the United States being the world police, because sometimes I do think that some of these things that go on around the world, just in general, like, I'm not specifically like hyper focused on like Latins or Hispanics or any of that. I'm just saying in general, sometimes these things aren't our problem because we have our own problem back in the United States that we have to fix. Like, we have our own stuff. Our country is not perfect. I mean, it's doing pretty well compared to most, um, if not like, it's doing really good. Hence why people want to come here. But I do think that sometimes we need to focus on what we have going on here versus like putting our feet, our noses into other countries and trying to fix that. But there was a sense of like, damage that was being done to us because of the president. So I can see why there's still a correlation there. It's not like we just saw something that's kind of wrong and we just stepped in. No, they're actually they're shipping drugs to our country. There's a bunch of Venezuelans that want to come to our country, that have been coming to our country. And I'm sure that if Venezuela was flourishing, they would not come to our country at the rate that they're coming, or maybe not even at all. Because in all reality, bro, if your country's doing good, if food is affordable, if healthcare is good, if there's opportunities to grow and make money and just provide for your family, if you have that at the country that you're in, then you're not going to go out of your way to go to a different country just because. If we offer the same thing you have at your country, then most likely you're gonna stay at your country. And on top of all that, how like how hard it is to go to a country that you don't know the language. You know how difficult that is. Like, if we, again, this just brings back to my initial statement. If Venezuela had everything that we have right now, like opportunities, affordable food and stuff like that, like if you had all that there, why would you go to a different country that has the same shit and speak English? Now you're just gonna struggle to find work, to buy shit, to do shit. Like, they're not gonna do that. But yeah, so see, these people are lit, man. Like, leave them folks alone. And the White House be playing too, though. Like when you gonna start? Let's read the comments. Oh, the comments are turned off. Smart. Rex, move. I have my dog's over here. Back up. Go over there. All right, so let's see. Oh, I mean, I guess this is the same thing as the other, as this. They're just waiting. And this is the press live. Epstein. You guys are tripping. I don't know if I can. Yeah, well, it's a live. I doubt you can pause a live. Hold on. I only say that because I want to close my door. No, I don't see any of that, but let's see. Let's look at other stuff while we wait then.
Want to get to our team coverage?
No. Oh, let's look at the strikes. Not airstrikes.
This is CBS News Special Report. I'm Carissa Lawson in New York. The United States just attacked Venezuela's capital, hitting military facilities in the country. President Trump ordered this operation. There were multiple explosions in Caracas starting at around 2 a.m. local time. You can see the video here coming in. It shows low-flying aircraft in the city. This is...
All right, hold on, guys. 1 second. 1 second. Man, fuck it. Hold on, fellas. Bear with me. There you go. Sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. Whatever. Never mind. Sorry, guys. Back to the video.
This is a CBS News special report. I'm Carissa Lawson in New York. The United States just attacked Venezuela's capital, hitting military facilities in the country.
Good.
President Trump ordered this operation. There were multiple explosions in Caracas starting at around 2 a.m. local time. You can see the video here coming in. It shows low-flying aircraft in the city. This is the first U.S. military attack within the country. President Trump is targeting the South American nation over its authoritarian leader, Nicolas Maduro, and his alleged ties to drug cartels. It follows months of military buildup in the region. The strikes come just hours after Maduro had said he was open to negotiations with the U.S. Let's go right to CBS News correspondent Natalie Brand. She's traveling.
Open to negotiations. Nah, son. The only thing we negotiating is how much time in prison we finna put you in.
With the president in West Palm Beach, Florida. And Natalie, what are we hearing from the Trump administration right now?
Well, as of this hour, sources are telling CBS News that Trump administration officials are aware of these reports of explosions and aircraft. No immediate response from the White House, but we've also learned per U.S. officials that President Trump ordered strikes on sites inside Venezuela, including military facilities. This, of course, comes as the administration has escalated its campaign against the regime of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, which the U.S. administration views as illegitimate. So right now, as you've seen on some initial video coming in, which we are still working to gather and confirm, several explosions were heard around 2 a.m. local time Saturday overnight in Venezuela's capital city, Caracas. People seen kind of rushing to the streets. And again, this is something that the president himself had said was a possibility out loud, talking about potential land strikes.
You damn right. Let me just check on this press. All right. Just making sure.
CBS News has also learned from sources that the president gave the U.S. military the green light to conduct land strikes in Venezuela days before the actual operation, waiting for conditions to be right there. Sources also say that military officials were even going to conduct the mission on Christmas, but U.S. airstrikes in Nigeria, as you may remember, against ISIS targets took precedence that day, according to the sources. So again, we are still working to confirm the latest, but Clarissa, as you know, this comes on top of months of a pressure campaign, which started back in September with those initial strikes that we saw on alleged drug boats off the coast of Venezuela. That has expanded now to a massive military buildup around Venezuela, a blockade of sanctioned oil tankers, a pressure campaign that's both military and also economic pressure.
As you said,
bro, that's another thing. Like, how are you? I don't know, bro. People are just, I don't understand. But if you send someone on a boat here with drugs and then you see them turn into ash, why are you sending more? Why are you allowing boats to get here? Like, why are you allowing more boats to go and make this suicide mission? Because you're just gonna go boom. That's it. Just boom, gone forever. And like, say what you want. Oh, the president of Venezuela wasn't the one sending the boats. Like, well, he's not doing shit to stop them. Okay. And I'm sure he has something to do with the boats going to the United States. Like, I don't care about none of that. But regardless, say he didn't have no idea. Well, he's doing nothing to stop him. He knows the first boat that we blew up went boom, pew, and you ain't doing shit. Okay, well then more boats are gonna go pew, and then your ass is gonna get captured like you just did. Fuck.
That this has been a slow and steady escalation. What is the president's goal in Venezuela at this time?
You know, he's been careful not to completely disclose that when asked directly by reporters. You know, he won't talk about regime change, even though that's what a lot of lawmakers over on Capitol Hill say that they believe all signs point to. But President Trump, in interviews with reporters, including CBS News' own Norah O'Donnell, has said that he believes that Maduro's days as president are numbered. The big question, of course, is what would happen next. And that's where even allies of the president on Capitol Hill, after they received briefings on Venezuela operations, they said that they had more questions for administration officials about the real strategy here and the end game.
Natalie Brand, thank you for those details on what's happening in Venezuela right now. Now, CBS News correspondent Lilia.
So the White House just like 6 minutes ago uploaded dude, am I slow? Like, am I already on the White House? I sure am. Let's reload this because they have a picture of him. There you go. Nicolas Maduro on board the USS Iwo Jima. If I pronounced that wrong, don't kill me. Look at all these comments, man. All happy. Hearts, clapping. Qué felicidad, gracias. Qué hermoso. All good things. All good things. I wonder what American song Trump has blasting in those headphones. Can you imagine if it's just like the Star Spangled Banner or the Pledge of Allegiance? Can you imagine? Yeah, man, like this is a win, bro. This is a win. What does this one say? Compare this to Afghanistan, where we were a laughing stock all over the world. We're not a laughing stock anymore. We have the greatest military in the world by far. The professionalism and the bravery, you almost couldn't hold them back. This could not have been better. And I agree, bro. Like, that's the thing. I'll admit there could be some. I mean, and it's not even really true bias, bro. I am from here. I was born in Miami.
Appreciate you being here.
Oh.
Late last night and early today, at my direction, the United States Armed Forces conducted an extraordinary military operation in the capital of Venezuela. Overwhelming American military power, air, land, and sea, was used to launch a spectacular assault. And it was an assault like people have not seen since World War II. It was a force against a heavily fortified military fortress in the heart of Caracas to bring outlaw dictator Nicolas Maduro to justice. This was one of the most stunning, effective, and powerful displays of American military might and competence in American history. And if you think about it, we've done some other good ones, like the attack on Soleimani, the attack on al-Baghdadi, and the obliteration and decimation of the Iran nuclear sites just recently in an operation known as Midnight Hammer. All perfectly executed and done. No nation in the world could achieve what America achieved yesterday, or frankly, in just a short period of time. All Venezuelan military capacities were rendered powerless as the men and women of our military, working with U.S. law enforcement, successfully captured Maduro in the dead of night. It was dark. The lights of Caracas were largely turned off. due to a certain expertise that we have. It was dark and it was deadly. But captured along with his wife, Celia Flores, both of whom now face American justice. Maduro and Flores have been indicted in the Southern District of New York. It's Jay Clayton, for their campaign of deadly narco-terrorism against the United States and its citizens. I want to thank the men and women of our military who achieved such an extraordinary success overnight with breathtaking speed, power, precision, and competence. You rarely see anything like it. You've seen some raids in this country that didn't go so well. They were an embarrassment. If you look back to Afghanistan, or if you look back to the Jimmy Carter days, they were different days. We're a respected country again, like never before. These highly trained warriors operating in collaboration with U.S. law enforcement caught them in a very ready position. They were waiting for us. They knew we had many ships out in the sea, just sort of waiting. They knew we were coming. So they were in what's called a ready position, but they were completely overwhelmed and very quickly incapacitated. If you would have seen what I saw last night, you would have been very impressed. I'm not sure that you'll ever get to see it, but it was an incredible thing to see. Not a single American service member was killed, and not a single piece of American equipment was lost. We had many helicopters, many planes, many people involved in that fight. But think of that, not one piece of military equipment was lost, not one service member was, more importantly, killed. The United States military is the strongest and most fearsome military on the planet by far, with capabilities and skills our enemies can scarcely begin to imagine. We have the best equipment anywhere in the world. There's no equipment like what we have. And you see that even if you just look at the boats. You know, we've knocked out 97% of the drugs coming in by sea. 90%. Each boat kills on average, 25,000 people. We knocked out 97%. And those drugs mostly come from a place called Venezuela. We're going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. So we don't want to be involved with having somebody else get in, and we have the same situation that we had for the last long period of years. So we are going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. And it has to be judicious, because that's what we're all about. We want peace, liberty, and justice for the great people of Venezuela. And that includes many from Venezuela that are now living in the United States and want to go back to their country. It's their homeland. We can't take a chance that somebody else takes over Venezuela that doesn't have the good of the Venezuelan people in mind. We've had decades of that. We're not going to let that happen. We're there now, and what people don't understand, but they understand as I say this, we're there now, but we're going to stay until such time as the proper transition can take place. So we're going to stay until such time as we're going to run it, essentially, until such time as a proper transition can take place. As everyone knows, the oil business in Venezuela has been a bust, a total bust, for a long period of time. They were pumping almost nothing by comparison to what they could have been pumping and what could have taken place. We're going to have our very large United States oil companies, the biggest anywhere in the world, go in, spend billions of dollars, fix the badly broken infrastructure, the oil infrastructure, and start making money for the country. And we are ready to stage a second and much larger attack if we need to do so. So we were prepared to do a second wave if we needed to do so. We actually assumed that a second wave would be necessary, but now it's probably not. The first wave, if you'd like to call it that, the first attack was so successful, we probably don't have to do a second, but we're prepared to do a second wave, a much bigger wave, actually. This was pinpoint, but we have a much bigger wave that probably won't have to do. This partnership of Venezuela with the United States of America, a country that everybody wants to be involved with because of what we were able to do and accomplish, will make the people of Venezuela rich, independent, and safe. And it will also make the many, many people from Venezuela that are living in the United States extremely happy. They suffered. They suffered. So much was taken from them. They're not going to suffer anymore. The illegitimate dictator Maduro was the kingpin of a vast criminal network responsible for trafficking colossal amounts of deadly and illicit drugs into the United States. As alleged in the indictment, he personally oversaw the vicious cartel known as Cartel de las Solas, which flooded our nation with lethal poison, responsible for the deaths of countless Americans, the many, many Americans, hundreds of thousands over the years of Americans died because of him. Maduro and his wife will soon face the full might of American justice and stand trial on American soil. Right now, they're on a ship. They'll be heading to ultimately New York, and then a decision will be made, I assume, between New York and Miami or Florida. But we have people where the overwhelming evidence of their crimes will be presented in a court of law. And I've seen it. I've seen what we have. It's both horrible and breathtaking that something like this could have been allowed to take place. For many years after his term as president of Venezuela expired, Maduro remained in power and waged a ceaseless campaign of violence, terror, and subversion against the United States of America, threatening not only our people, but the stability of the entire region. And you all saw it. In addition to trafficking gigantic amounts of illegal drugs that inflicted untold suffering and human destruction all over the country, all over in particular the United States, Maduro sent savage and murderous gangs, including the bloodthirsty prison gang, Tren de Aragua, to terrorize American communities nationwide. And he did indeed. They were in Colorado. They took over apartment complexes. They cut the fingers off people if they called police. They were brutal, but they're not so brutal now. And I just have to congratulate our military, Pete, and everybody, and our National Guard, because the job that they've done, whether it's in Washington, D.C., where we have a totally safe city, where it was one of the most unsafe cities anywhere in the world, frankly, and now we have no crime in Washington, D.C. We haven't had a killing. We had the terrorist attack a few weeks ago. A little bit of a different kind of a threat, but we haven't had a killing in a long period of time, 6-7 months. We used to have two, on average, 2 a week in Washington, our capital. We don't have that anymore. The restaurants are opening. Everyone's happy. They're going, they're walking their daughters, they're walking their children, their wives, they walk to restaurants. Restaurants are opening all over Washington, D.C. So I want to thank the National Guard. I want to thank our military, and I want to thank law enforcement. It's been amazing. And they should do it with more cities. We're doing it, as you know, and we're doing it in Memphis, Tennessee right now, and crime is down. We've just sort of started a few weeks ago, but crime is down now 77%. And the governor of Louisiana called, great person, and he wanted us to help him, as you know, in a certain very nice part of Louisiana, and we have done that. And it was a rough section, and we have crime down. I understand it's down to almost nothing already after 2.5 weeks. New Orleans, it's down to almost nothing. and we've only been there for 2.5 weeks. Can't imagine why governors wouldn't want us to help. We also helped, as you know, in Chicago. Then crime went down a little bit there. We did a very small help because we had no working ability with the governor. The governor was a disaster, and the mayor was a disaster. But it knocked down crime. But we're pulling out of there when they need us. We'll know. You'll know. You'll be writing about it. And likewise, Los Angeles, where we saved Los Angeles early on, where the head of the police department made a statement that if the federal government didn't come in, we would have lost Los Angeles. That's long after the fires. That's when they had the riots in Los Angeles. We did a great job. Got no credit for it whatsoever, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. We don't need the credit. But we'll be pulling out when they need us. They'll call, or we'll go back if we have to. We'll go back. But we did a great job in various cities. But the place that we're very proud of is Washington, D.C., because it's our nation's capital. We took it from being a crime-ridden mess to being one of the safest cities in the country. But the gangs that they sent raped, tortured, and murdered American women and children. They were in all of the cities I mentioned, Tren de Aragua. And they were sent by Maduro to terrorize our people. And now Maduro will never again be able to threaten an American citizen or anybody from Venezuela. There will no longer be threats. For years, I've highlighted the stories of those innocent Americans whose lives were so heartlessly robbed by this Venezuelan terrorist organization. Really one of the worst. One of the worst. They say the worst. Americans like 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungari from Houston. Beautiful Jocelyn Nungari. What happened to her? They, as you know, they kidnapped, assaulted, and murdered by Tren de Aragua animals. They murdered Jocelyn and left her dead under the bridge. There was a bridge that will never be the same to so many people after seeing what happened. As I've said many times, the Maduro regime emptied out their prisons, sent their worst and most violent monsters into the United States to steal American lives. And they came from mental institutions and insane asylums. They came from prisons and jails. The reason I say both, they sound similar. Actually, prisons, a little bit more hostile, a little bit tougher. A mental institution isn't as tough as an insane asylum, but we got them both. They sent from their mental institutions. They sent from their jails, prisons. They were drug dealers. They were drug kingpins. They sent everybody bad into the United States, but no longer. And we have now a border where nobody gets through. In addition, Venezuela unilaterally seized and stole American oil, American assets, and American platforms, costing us billions and billions of dollars. They did this a while ago, but we never had a president that did anything about it. They took all of our property. It was our property. We built it. And we never had a president that decided to do anything about it. Instead, they fought wars that were 10,000 miles away. We built Venezuela oil industry with American talent, drive, and skill, and the socialist regime stole it from us during those previous administrations, and they stole it through force. This constituted one of the largest thefts of American property in the history of our country. Considered the largest theft of property in the history of our country. Massive oil infrastructure was taken like we were babies, and we didn't do anything about it. I would have done something about it. America will never allow foreign powers to rob our people or drive us back into and out of our own hemisphere. That's what they did. Furthermore, under the now deposed dictator Maduro, Venezuela was increasingly hosting foreign adversaries in our region and acquiring menacing offensive weapons that could threaten U.S. interests and lives. And they used those weapons last night. Potentially in league with the cartels operating along our border. All of these actions were in gross violation of the core principles of American foreign policy, dating back more than 2 centuries. And not anymore. all the way back. It dated to the Monroe Doctrines. And the Monroe Doctrine is a big deal, but we've superseded it by a lot, by a real lot. They now call it the Donroe Document. I don't know. It's Monroe Doctrine. We sort of forgot about it. It was very important, but we forgot about it. We don't forget about it anymore. Under our new national security strategy, American dominance in the Western Hemisphere will never be questioned again. Won't happen. So just in concluding, for decades, other administrations have neglected or even contributed to these growing security threats in the Western Hemisphere. Under the Trump administration, we are reasserting American power in a very powerful way in our home region. And our home region is very different than it was just a short while ago. The future will be, and we did this in my first term. We had great dominance in my first term, and we have far greater dominance right now. Everyone's coming back to us. The future will be determined by the ability to protect commerce and territory and resources that are core to national security. These are core to our national security. Just like tariffs are, they've made our country rich, and they've made our national security stronger than ever before. But these are the iron laws that have always determined global power. And we're going to keep it that way. We will secure our borders. We will stop the terrorists. We will crash the cartels, and we will defend our citizens against all threats, foreign and domestic. Other presidents may have lacked the courage or whatever to defend America, but I will never allow terrorists and criminals to operate with impunity against the United States. This extremely successful operation should serve as warning to anyone who would threaten American sovereignty or endanger American lives. Very importantly, the embargo on all Venezuelan oil remains in full effect. The American Armada remains poised in position, and the United States retains all military options until United States demands have been fully met and fully satisfied. All political and military figures in Venezuela should understand what happened to Maduro can happen to them. It will happen to them if they aren't just fair, even to their people. The dictator and terrorist, Maduro, is finally gone in Venezuela. People are free. They're free again. It's been a long time for them, but they're free. America is a safer nation this morning. It's a prouder nation this morning because it didn't allow this horrible person and this country that was doing very bad things to us. It didn't allow it to happen. And the Western Hemisphere is right now a much safer place to be. So I want to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank General Raisin Kane. He's a fantastic man. I've worked with a lot of generals. I worked with some I didn't like. I worked with some I didn't respect. I worked with some that just weren't good. But this guy is fantastic. I watched last night one of the most precise attacks on sovereignty. I mean, it was an attack for justice. And I'm very proud of him. And I'm very proud of our Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, who I'm going to ask to say a few words. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Mr. President. Finally, a commander-in-chief the world respects and the American people deserve. And as the president said, words can barely capture the bravery and the power and the precision of this historic operation. A massive joint military and law enforcement raid flawlessly executed by the greatest Americans our country has to offer. American warriors are second to none, the best in the world and the best of our country. What all of us witnessed last night was sheer guts and grit, gallantry, and glory of the American warrior. I'm simply humbled by such men. And I tip my hat to our chairman, Dan Raisin Kane, and all those Americans who stood watch last night. Our warriors are the elite of America. And again, President Trump has your back. No other country on planet Earth, and it's not even close, could pull this kind of operation off. And no other president has ever shown this kind of leadership, courage, and resolve, the most powerful combination the world has ever seen. As the president said, our adversaries remain on notice. America can project our will anywhere, anytime. The coordination, the stealth, the lethality, the precision, the very long arm of American justice, all on full display in the middle of the night. Nicolas Maduro had his chance, just like Iran had their chance, until they didn't and until he didn't. He effed around and he found out. President Trump is deadly serious about stopping the flow of gangs and violence to our country. Deadly serious about stopping the flow of drugs and poison to our people. Deadly serious about getting back the oil that was stolen from us. And deadly serious about reestablishing American deterrence and dominance in the Western Hemisphere. This is about the safety, security, freedom, and prosperity of the American people. This is America first. This is peace through strength. And the United States War Department is proud to help deliver it. Welcome to 2026. And under President Trump, America is back. I'd like to welcome now our Chairman Raising Cane, to give a few more details about the operation, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, so I mean, this is a live from the White House that you can go on YouTube and watch the entire thing. I wanted to really just check out what Trump had to say. And I also wanted to hear what he had to say as well. But as far as anyone else that's coming up, they have good information and very important things to say as well. But I wanted to comment on on what Trump said. So I do know he did mention earlier in his speech that the United States will be taken over until they have a smooth transition of power in Venezuela. And obviously, unless you are living under a rock and you don't agree, then this is a good move. It's honestly the most, I don't know what's the word, the most expected, reasonable thing that they can do is make sure that there's a smooth transition and give back power to Venezuela, to someone that obviously will be a good leader for the country. And in the meantime, the United States will take over. I think that's very important. And as well as Trump mentioning a second wave, I mean, again, that's going to get clipped and it's going to sound like he's looking to do more damage. But at the end of the day, bro, we're the strongest country in the world and we have to flex our muscle. So there would have been a second wave if it was necessary. According to Trump, it's not. It doesn't look like it's going to be necessary to do a second wave, and it was going to be just a bigger wave. But just with the first wave and how we already have Maduro and his wife in custody, then for the meantime, it doesn't look like a second wave is necessary. But I do want to, I guess, emphasize, if you fuck around, you gon' find out, bruh. Done. Simple. Easy. It's like not hard to understand. I don't know why some of these countries and their leaders think that they can fuck with us. Maybe, again, maybe they've gotten the wrong impression because of the last 4 years we were under Joe Biden, who had dementia, didn't know where he was at, didn't know his left from his right. Like it was just it was just not, it was the worst time ever in regards to the United States and its reputation. But like I said before, Daddy Trump is back. He's going to make sure everybody's straight. He's going to make sure that the United States thrives and that we're not looked at as a laughing stock. And I very much agree, because we're not. The craziest part about all this is, and obviously we would never do such thing, because we are a fair country that, like, we follow the world rules. But bro, if the United States wanted to take over the fucking world, they could. I mean, lives would be lost, duh, and a lot of damage would be done. But I'm pretty sure, I'm 100% sure the United States could step on everybody. But again, we just want to focus on our country. We want to thrive ourselves. And we want to make sure that, again, people understand that if we gotta flex these muscles, bro, we gonna flex them. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you can definitely check out the oof, excuse me. You can definitely check out the rest of this live stream at the White House YouTube channel. By the time you get to this, it'll probably be posted though and stuff. So just watch the entire thing. I know I'm gonna watch the entire thing. I just have something to do. And I'm not sure how long this is gonna be. So I'm gonna go do that thing, come back, and then watch the whole thing. I'm gonna make another video, a shorter video about my opinion about this entire thing because I did a live stream for the first time ever. So I don't know if there's going to be any technical difficulties. I'm going to be so sad if like the video wasn't playing with sound. Like I'll start to cry. But I will make another video, the ones that I know how to make, probably in the evening about this entire thing because this video is an hour and like it's going on an hour and 6 minutes right now. So and again, I have very little subscribers, so this is probably not gonna do much, but I'm gonna make a shorter video because those at least get 30 views at least on average and like 4 likes. And I'm proud of that. I'm happy about that. Like, I don't care. Like it makes me feel good that someone clicked that thing 30 times, even if they left after a minute. So I don't care. But yeah, I appreciate anyone who's been subscribed to me. And if you're new, I'm gonna be making videos about politics, viral videos, do some reactions to clips that are, that are going viral or just anything somewhat random. I think like 2 or 3 videos ago, I did a anime you must watch. I love watching anime, so I recommended some shows. But for the most part, if you check out my video that's called The HP Show, I'm Back, that kind of explains more where this channel and the direction that it's going. So, but all that being said, I appreciate every single one of y'all. Please like this video, subscribe, share it, do all that good stuff, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll go show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't